Welcome back to the show, Daybreak USA with Rod Ray. I'm Rod Williams Stoll, joining us now through the auspices of telephony, which was invented in the great state of New Jersey. Michelle Dickinson Moravec is with us, and she has written a brand new book called Breaking Into My Life. Good morning to you, Michelle.
Well, good morning.
Great to have you with us. And, you know, I always thought I wanted to be a psychologist of some kind, but I don't think I have the ability. I really, really don't. Your book is very interesting. Breaking Into My Life. First of all, a great book has to have a great title. Gone with the Wind, a great title, right?
Right.
Breaking Into My Life. When did you realize that your life wasn't normal?
Oh, well, I think I have a normal life. I just think that there was a lot for me to navigate because I had to grow up with a mom who had bipolar disorder.
Wow. And of course, this is bipolar disorder. You know, my psychiatrist said to me, "You're bipolar," so I moved from Anchorage to Antarctica. You know, this is rather something that's new in the jargon. We didn't have people that were bipolar years ago, but it was well known in psychological communities, right?
Right. I think a lot of people, we still have a stigma around mental illness. So yes. I think maybe we had more people suffering in silence than we knew.
Ooh. You know what makes me think that you're dead right on that is my father was a veteran of World War II and things like that. And all those guys never had the problems that our current vets are having with the PTSD and those kind of things.
Right. Well, I think, nowadays we have more conversation around mental illness. We still have a lot of room to improve, but I think with more discussions, people start to realize that maybe I struggle with something, and maybe I can get some help.
So you're not going to buy my book, I'm Okay, You're So-So. Is that what you're telling me? Tell us what got you to write this book.
Sure. So I really wanted to make a difference with this book. I wanted to just be vulnerable and just authentically tell my story to provide people with a vivid understanding of what it's like to grow up and love someone with a mental illness. Because as a caregiver, it can be extremely punishing because you just love them and you want more for them and you want to care for them. And so I really just wanted to be the cause of more conversations around mental illness so more people get care.
It's also very taxing, and it's an erosion kind of thing. It wears at you until finally you get to a certain point that's a breaking point, and some of us are able to write a book about it, and some of us continue down that dark path, right?
Exactly. And, as much as this book was painful to write, it took me over 4 years, it was incredibly cathartic to really face some of the darker times in my childhood, but also to move through it and to recognize that is the past and I get to create my own future.
Well, what do you say to people who are suffering through the same thing that you do? If you bring it up, are they immediately offended by that?
It depends where people are, right? It depends if people are suppressed about talking about anything like this, or they believe in their heart that they truly have endured the worst that anyone can ever imagine, or that they're maybe a little bit receptive to having a conversation about something. I mean, let's face it, everyone has adversity in their past, right? My adversity just happens to be in the color of a bipolar mother. So it's really up to you whether or not you work through it and create that future for yourself, or you stay the victim.
A lot of it's positive mental outlook still, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't think it's like, just be positive. I think you really have to get to the heart of what is eating at you. You can't just, be topical and be like, oh, I'm just going to be positive. For me, I had to unearth some stuff, and that took several years to do. To find that compassion and that love for my mother that I once was really just angry at.
Yeah. When you're a little kid like that, you don't understand enough to make it bad, but you don't understand enough to make it better either.
Right. Well, and, as a child caregiver, I know there's probably a lot of kids out there who do have to play the role of a caregiver of their parent or even just a spouse of someone with mental illness. It can be punishing, but you also absorb it. You get sucked into it. You lose yourself. And, my message is really, if you are a caregiver, you have to take care of yourself. You really, really do.
And the numbers are amazing. It's knowing that approximately 1 in 5 adults in the U.S. experience some form of mental illness in a given year. We used to say a third of the population has mental illness, so look to the right if the guy on the right looks normal, and look to the left if the guy on the left looks normal. That makes you the one that has mental illness.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think, we don't realize it. We don't talk about it. Like, imagine a day, right, where we talk about mental illness the way we would talk about heart disease, where people would just be open and have a conversation and get the care they need and not, just sit there and wonder, oh, am I okay? Is it the neighbor next to me, like you just said? Like, just imagine what conversation can do to really help remove the stigma.
Are we getting better or are we getting worse?
I think we're on a really great path that things are going to get better. There's more conversation happening, especially in the workplace. I work for Johnson & Johnson, right, and we're doing a lot of great work to have employees recognize the support that's available. And even in schools, I think they're starting to recognize the importance of mental health literacy in the health programs. So I do believe that we're making strides forward, but we do have work to do.
And, of course, they can take a look at the book and see a whole lot more from you, Michelle, at www.breakingintomylife.com. That's a great place to go. Thank you for the positive outlook. I feel better already. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
All right. That was Michelle Dickinson-Norvig with us this morning right here on Daybreak USA.